What is up, guys, and welcome to a Sunday Lazy Commentary. Now in this video I want to talk to you guys about something that I've been wanting to talk about ever since I kind of had this realization about a week ago. Because one of the things that makes TF2 so goddamn amazing is just the incredible variety of gameplay that exists, right? You know, you've got 9 different classes. Each class is so different from every other class, you know, like different move speeds, different roles they play for the team, the way that they play, all their weapons. It's like everything is so unique, so different. And then on top of that, you've got all the different game modes, you've got, you know, payload, CP, COV, everything, and then you've got all the different maps that you can play those game modes on. And in every game mode, you know, each class has got a different role, there's a different objective and a completely new style of playing the game, and that is one of the things that has allowed TF2 to survive for so long, because it's like 200 games piled into one. Because if you get bored of one thing, you just change to the other thing, and you can just keep doing that and trying out all these new things, and no matter how long you play the game, I guarantee there is something you haven't tried out yet. There is some loadout combination that you haven't given a go. And one of the big problems that people run into when they're playing TF2, sadly, and I am the biggest offender here, this is like my #1 problem, is that they'll kind of get stuck in a rut of just doing the same thing over and over again. You know, they'll get comfortable in this little circle, and they won't want to move outside that circle. So, you know, taking Pyro as an example, for as long as I can remember, the Pyro meta is like, you know, what everyone does has been the Puff and Sting combo. That's with the Degreaser, the Extinguisher, and the Flare Gun. And that's where you just set someone on fire, quickly change to another weapon, and then crit them and they're dead. And people, you know, everyone just used that. That was the accepted loadout in TF2 that everyone would use, and you would see 90% of Pyros using, because people were like, well, this is the best thing, we're all going to use it. But then recently, Valve actually went out and they nerfed the Extinguisher, and I was someone who was one of those Pyros. I pretty much only used the Puff and Sting combo. But after that nerf, it got me thinking, you know, well, maybe this doesn't have to be the only loadout that I can use on Pyro. Maybe there are other things out there. Maybe I don't have to use the Puff and Sting. Maybe I could try out the Phlogistinator or something else. And at the time, I had a friend who was, every game we played together, he was just jumping around everywhere, going crazy with the back burner, the detonator, and the power jack. And I was like, well, you know what? He looks like he's having a bit of fun. Maybe I'll give that a go. And you know what? It was without a doubt the best decision I think I have made in a long time, because suddenly I'm running around with this entire new loadout. I'm trying all these different things. It's a completely new way of playing the game, and it's like TF2 has become an entire new game again. And for the past 2 weeks, this is basically the only loadout I've been using, and I've been jumping into maps. And the great thing about mixing up weapons like this is that you've got to completely change the way you're playing the game. Before, with my old loadout, you know, I'd be running straight at people, front on, I'd reflect a couple of rockets, light them on fire, and crit them and walk away. But now with the back burner, right, because you can reflect, but it takes so much ammo, you've got to play a lot more tactically and a lot more cautiously, and it's less about your ability to reflect and change weapons, and it's more about positioning. So you're kind of trying to figure out a way to get behind the enemy so you can get those amazing crits right on top of their back, and at the same time you're using the detonator to achieve that. So you're kind of using the detonator to jump up to all these places that Pyros can't normally get to, and people aren't looking for you there, and then you jump on them, you surprise them, and then you burn them, and they're all angry because you're critting them in the back. And it is an incredible amount of fun, because I'm having to think when I'm playing the game in an entirely new way. I'm using the detonator to do all these jumps that I never even thought you could do before, and I'm doing all these flanks and kind of thinking a completely different way when I'm running around playing the game. And that kind of got me thinking, you know, what else can I do? I don't only have to keep this to Pyro, I can take this to other places. And you know, people who watch my stream would know that I am so bad when it comes to this kind of getting stuck in a rut of doing the same thing. Because I will kind of start the stream, go on, search for a Badwater or an Upward server, and I will just kind of bounce between those 2 servers for the entire night, maybe occasionally trying something different. And I'll, you know, be running around using the gunboats, the normal rocket launcher, and like the Market Gardener for the entire night, and I'll just do that, rinse and repeat over and over. But because of this, because of all the fun I was having with this new loadout, I've gone in and I've thought, hey, you know what, maybe I'll try playing some KOTH, maybe I'll try this new map over here, maybe I'll see how this goes, because this is completely different and I'm having so much fun. I might not be be able to go in, and I might not be able to pub stomp like I could before and get quite as many kills, but it doesn't matter because I'm learning something completely new. And while you might not do as well with this kind of stuff when you immediately start off, after a while, after a bit of practice, this is a kind of loadout because that people aren't going to expect, because people don't see it as much. So people aren't looking for that detonator pyro hanging up on the ceiling. People aren't expecting that. So you get these massive surprise moments where people are just like, what the hell? What are you doing there? You can't be there. You're a pyro. But in fact, you can, because they just don't realize the kind of power that a lot of weapons have that they never see people use. So I've been doing that. I've been trying new game modes. I've gone to Soldier. I've been trying, you know, maybe using like the buff banner and like the whip and the cowmangler or some other ridiculous weapon that I never really use. And it's just basically opened up this entire new area of TF2 for me and kind of given me this massive burst of energy to play again and refreshed everything and made it an entire new game, which I'm having so much fun again. So that's basically just what I wanted to share with you guys today. Just the idea that you don't have to use the same thing over and over again. Just because it means you can pub stomp with it and do well in some games, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the loadout you should be using. So get out there, look at your soldier loadout, be like, hey, you know what, I've been using nothing but the gunboats for the past 6 months now. Maybe I should try mixing that up. Maybe I should use the buff banner. Maybe I should use the conch. Maybe I should try out the whip instead of the marker gardener. I don't know, get out there, just mix up. Maybe say, hey, you know what, I've never really played control point maps. Maybe I should stop playing payload and try that instead. And even if you only do it for a little bit, trust me, just taking a break, trying something new, something different will have so much of an impact on how much you enjoy the game. Doesn't matter if you're getting kills, as long as you're doing crazy fun stuff that you haven't tried before. So that's it from me. I'm going to stop you right here before I keep rambling, because I have a real tendency to ramble in these unstructured live commentary thingy-bobbies. But just guys, get out there, try something new, try something different. It doesn't have to be in TF2, it can be anywhere, but especially in TF2. Just get out there, try something new. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.